Hey guys, Jagus here, back with another build orders video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Sisters of Battle. I'm quite excited for this video because I have played the Sisters for about 6 years, honestly, sadly. But I only recently just started playing them seriously about a year ago, funnily enough. And even now I'm still learning stuff about them, I guess, in some ways. But yeah, when it comes to the sisterhood, I know my stuff, so you're in good hands with this video. Now, a lot of beginners seem to think that sisters are weak, and I would argue that they just don't really understand the race properly. Maybe when it comes to their tier 4, they do struggle a bit, but other than that, they're extremely powerful in the tier 1 to about tier 2.5. So I'll just hop into a game here now. Fatamorga as usual, insane AI, and boom, let's go. Cool. Okay, let's talk about tier 1. If you're playing Sisters and you're not really sure where to start, I'll show you this opening. It's just like the standard opener. I'll call it a standard build for the purpose of this video. Basically what it is you just make one convent, you queue up one servitor, 2 missionaries, and this servitor will help build this convent, and we queue up a generator, right? Kind of similar to other races standard build orders. We got our 2 scouts, you could call them, to cap our points. Now, missionaries are more valuable than you think, and it's always a good idea to save them as much as you can. Don't just suicide them, because they will become very important to your attack force later on. Now, I am making one... Oh, I thought I queued them to walk over there. I am making one Battle Sister squad and one Canoness squad. This is just to provide us with some basic, you know, defense as well as offense, and just open the game up for us to go whatever we want, right? So this way we can build our LPs up still. No worries there. And we feel pretty good. Now we just got to keep these sisters alive and try not to let too many of them die. There's the thing with sisters, they're quite they're not that tanky, so you gotta try not to lose too many of them, otherwise you'll be constantly reinforcing and it'll be pretty costly for you, and we don't want that. Out comes the Canoness. The Canoness is a brilliant commander. I think she is the next best after the Force Commander and the Chaos Lord. Very durable, 1500 health, decent melee and ranged damage, though I like to keep her on ranged most of the time. So this is pretty solid. Like, it can support you against most enemy matchups. You just got to be wary of like Dark Reapers. Your sisters won't be able to handle those, so you don't want these guys at the front line fighting Dark Reapers. You just got to hold back, maybe go for the Pristine Sanctuary and get Inferno pistols and flamers and grenades to help with that particular build from Elder. But this is basically it. So we got our, you know, got our little sizable force here, and we'll just be a little bit aggressive at the same time. Upgrade our LPs, get 2 LPs. Oh, another thing that is important is the Holy Icons. Get at least the first one. It's only 25 blue, and we need that so at least one of our missionaries can use his Act of Faith lay hands. So the Sisters' Faith is another very important aspect to their playstyle. Lay hands will increase the squad's healing. Whatever squad he's attached to, it'll increase their healing by a certain amount. I'll put the little excerpt from the guide up on the screen. And Yeah, it can pretty much bring Battle Sister Squad back up to full health from low. It's really really good, and it recharges quite quick too. So you want at least one holy icon for that. But once you got to LP2s, to generators, you're not being harassed too badly. You can just go straight to tier 2. If you are facing a kind of a difficult, like an army from your opponent that's a bit difficult to deal with, then I would suggest making the Pristine Sanctuary. When you have enough resources, just build the Pristine Sanctuary. And what that'll do is it'll allow you to research the phosphor grenades from the convent, and also equip your sister squad with flamers and your Canoness with Inferno pistol. But that's a different build I'll be talking about in another section. But for now, this is it for the standard build. So let's move on to the next one. Now for this next build I'm going to talk about, it is the Seraphim Rush. Now this opening is the bane of many players' existence. If you've never seen this build before, basically what it is you get Seraphims, which are their excuse me, highly mobile units that can fire accurately even while on the move. Their accuracy is at 70% even while they're moving, which is very good, making them like the best unit, I think, for kiting and just chasing down enemies and doing tremendous amounts of destruction. So I'm pretty sure you can use this build against all the races, but because this build is so good, players will be expecting it, especially in 1v1s, and they will have counters put in place to deal with this. So just keep that in mind. But basically I'll show you how it works. So as usual, Convent's coming up, but we queue the Sanctuary next, not the Generator, and we get our second builder to start on that Sanctuary. And the idea here is we want both of these to be built at approximately the same time. And as usual, we just get our missionaries to cap our points. Oh, we can queue a generator as well. In this particular build of the Seraphim Rush, we can build a generator. I'll show you the other build after this. It's a little bit more, yeah, I'll say it. It's just a bit more abusive, but you know that like every race can be abused in this game, so everybody's always complaining about abuse and this, abuse of that, but every race can be abused in some way or another, so yeah, let's just go with this. Alright, so once the Sanctuary is done, we make a Seraphim squad. And this missionary can cap. This missionary can cap. And cap. Okay. Build our LPs up. So the one thing about Seraphims that you got to remember is that they don't have a lot of HP. So it's quite easy to actually to kill them. That's probably the drawback to them. Perfect. Some stealth suits to experiment on. See, while these stealth suits are running away, we can just gun them down. And look at how much damage they're taking. Even while these Seraphims are moving and shooting, they're still doing a lot of damage, right? And that's just how effective their accuracy is. It's crazy. So they're a very, very good harass unit, because we can just jump in. Yeah, the fact that they can jump as well just adds more fuel to the fire. But they're still, you still gotta have good micro skills with them. Like, if you look away for even a second, that can even cost you an entire squad sometimes. So you've got to be careful. Always keep an eye on them. But we can just take down this builder. Easy. Add more to the squad. Once we have another 200, we can make another. 2 squads are always better than 1, for sure. Plus it'll save you from having to reinforce this one. But there are a lot of crazy things you can do with Seraphims. Like, you can split them up. One squad can be attacking one side of the opponent's base, the other side. And yeah, it's very difficult for players to deal with, actually. I've used this in a lot of 1v1 matches, and it's won me a lot of them. So this is why when people say seraphims, I mean, sorry, not seraphims, sisters are weak. Like, there's this. You have this. So yeah, but obviously you just got to have the good micro skills to pull it off. Cool. So that's basically it for the Seraphim build, guys. Like, you just, yeah, just keep harassing. Melee units like Kroots, you can easily deal with those because you just run away from them if they chase you. It's always a mistake to chase the Seraphims with melee units because the Seraphims can just run away and still do the damage, and it's great. But what was I gonna say? So yeah, while we're out harassing, we're also macroing at the same time. So it's not just, you know, being a dick and yeah, wrecking all our opponent's stuff. It's also, you gotta macro at the same time. Because your economy still matters, you know. Can't neglect our economy. Cool. Alright, so that was the Seraphim build. Now I will go on to the other iteration of this build. Okay guys, so pretty similar to the last one. Convent and Sanctuary, but this time we're not going to make the generator. But we get our missionaries out to capture as usual. And we just wait for the Sanctuary to be done so we can start making our Seraphims. Use this build if you want 2 Seraphims quickly. So we build, queue up 2 Seraphims, then we delete our pristine Sanctuary. Now I know a lot of beginners will be like, what the hell? Like, that's an important building. Like, why would you delete that? But what it does is it refunds half of what it costed before we destroyed it. And we can use that extra requisition to either build a plasma generator or build some listing posts. So it's more about getting our 2 Seraphims out, but then also like focusing on our economy a little bit as well. Because with the other way, yeah, I managed to get the 1 Seraphim squad out, but it was quite a while before I could get the other one out. But this way I can just get 2 out straight away, reinforce them, do all that good stuff. It just packs a bigger punch early on. So this early I have 2 Seraphim squads, I can start reinforcing and just go out and wreak havoc. Not too much more to talk about this one, it's pretty much the same, just with the addition of that deleting of the Sanctuary. But principles are the same, go out, harass, macro, repeat. Right? Okay, cool. On to the next one, guys. So the third build you can do in tier 1 is the Canoness with the Inferno pistol. This is a good build if you want to tech quicker and focus on your economy. I don't really see this being played in 1v1s. It's more of a option for team matches. If you play in 1v1, there is a chance you can just get rushed. The Canoness can only handle so much by herself. But much like the Force Commander with a Plasma Pistol or the Chaos Lord with the Plasma Pistol, this is the same principle. You have your Canoness. She can handle majority of units just by herself, but you just gotta make sure she doesn't die. And the way we do this one is, just like with the Seraphim build actually, we're gonna queue the Sanctuary and get our second builder to start on that. And we can make a plasma generator, for sure. And cap as usual. Time lapse. And once the convent is done, we make the Canoness. Cool. Now the Inferno pistol is a really good tier 1 weapon. I believe it does like burn damage to anyone that gets hit by it. I'll put the little box there from the guide. And yeah, she's a pretty... Okay, so now we research the Inferno pistols. And yeah, she's a pretty solid unit to have tier 1, especially with the Inferno pistol attached. Hopefully you'll get to see how much damage it does. I don't know if it's more accurate than the Plasma pistol while firing on the move, but instead of the 15% that most 50% accuracy that most units suffer while on the move, I think the Inferno pistol is only 40%, which is good, right? We could chase enemies down with it, and yeah, it's great. It's a great all-round upgrade. But this is basically it. We just have the Canoness. We're not funding an army or anything, and we're just going to gain some value on these Fire Warriors. Fire Warriors will drop to the Inferno pistol. And look at that. Good accuracy, good damage. This is going to be 70 requisition down for our opponent. Expensive to reinforce, but we can just go in and just delete them one by one. Well, don't neglect your economy. So yeah, while we're doing this, we just get our economy going good, upgrade our LPs, and we'll have, this will open up possibilities for tier 2, like going Celestians or Lightning Fighters or whatever you want to do. But yeah, one squad of Fire Warrior is down pretty easily. She's good in melee too, but yeah, this is it. Make our generators. One more LP maybe. Don't forget the Holy Icons. Another thing about the Canoness is her Purifying Light ability. She only gets it in tier 2, but I'll just talk about it now. Basically, if you have 2 Holy Icons added on, you can use the Purifying Light. And what that does is it she emits light in this circle around her, and anyone that's hit by it will get major accuracy loss as well as decreased line of sight. Yeah, very, very good ability, especially when I'll talk about it more in the tier 2 part of this video. But for now, this is the Canoness with the Inferno pistol. On to the next one. Okay guys, so for the 4th option in tier 1 that you can go with is the Fast Flamers and Grenades build. For those early tier 1 fights, you know, if your opponent has a lot of infantry and you need some way to fight back, this is your Battle Sisters and their Flamers will be able to handle them pretty well. Flamers do pretty good damage, and I think they do like damage over time, and their grenades are very strong as well. Let me give you a little demonstration here. So basically what we want to do, barracks, armory, and generator. Just like with the Canoness with Inferno pistol. But we're not going to be making the Canoness this time. We need to get our troops out quickly, right? So we go with this build. Missionaries, cap points. Don't forget to add your missionaries to your Battle Sister squads once they've done capping all their points, just so that they can heal your Battle Sisters if they need it. And the missionary also has some really amazing abilities in tier 2, which I'll be talking about. But for now, we'll just get this generator up quickly, and with our sisters we can already equip one Flamer squad. Flamers, yeah, Flamers are really good against most infantries, but they really shine because of their ability to break morale, and you want to be doing a lot of morale damage to your opponent, because a broken squad will lose a lot of accuracy, a lot of damage, and it allows you to follow up with some strong counterattacks. And we're going to research the phosphor grenades. So now if we can just catch a squad out in the open somewhere. We'll just wait till we get our phosphor grenades, actually. Build up our LPs. Definitely. Good thing about missionaries is that they can detect infiltrate units as well. Which is amazing. You won't get stealth suited, like when stealth suits jump in and just decap your points after you've spent so much time capping them. That doesn't work with sisters. It's great. And cool, okay, see these fire warriors? I'll get up close to them and I chuck a grenade. And now they're gonna take damage over time from that phosphor grenade. And I'll just chase them with my sister squad because flamers are quite accurate even while you're moving with them, which is another good thing about them. I can make another sister squad now. And I can add more flamers. Yeah, so flamers are quite accurate on the move. I'll put up the exact stats here. But with this way, you can just chase after any squads trying to run. And it's pretty good damage, actually. So yeah, this is great. Now we just run away from these crews because sisters with flamers being tied up isn't really going to do much. But our grenades are slowly recharging and we'll be able to use them again pretty soon. In the meantime, we just eco, get our holy icon, kite these recruits a little bit. But yeah, this is pretty much the fast flamers and grenades build. We've got a suitable force here now. Now we can sort of chill in and if we need to, we can make the Canoness. Research the Inferno pistol with her as well. Or if we're not being... If our enemy is not able to counter this too much, then we can just go to tier 2, because what's the point in investing more, right? Just go up a tier. Cool. So that's it, guys. I will move on to the next one. So for option number 5, for tier 1, I'm going to call this one the Cheeky Servitors build. Now, I wouldn't usually recommend this one because it's a bit of a risky play, to be honest. I think it'd be good to play on small maps, but on bigger maps, nah, don't do this. But when it works, it's pretty funny. So basically, we just queue up all our servitors, all 3 here. And while we wait for them to produce, we'll just build a barracks convent. And so if you don't already know, servitors have this ability Dismantle, which when they use it on a building, it does pretty high damage. Exact stats shown here. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. So we're going to get all 4 of them. All 4 servitors out. And we're just going to be a bit cheeky here, right? So by doing this, we're not going to have any builders in our base to actually help build anything. So we will be down on power and requisition for this first part. But the idea here is that we want to take out our opponent's barracks so that they waste all that requisition they spent on building it, and they will then have to build another one. In some matchups, team games, if you're sisters and you have a sisters ally and you're against a Necrons player, if both of you make 4 servitors and head to the Necrons base and all use your abilities on the monolith, it will, all 8 servitors is just enough to take out the monolith, and you'll just win straight away. So that's another pretty toxic build for you there. Okay, so here's the barracks. We just select our servitors, press D. It's D for me. And this barracks will just get deconstructed. And boom, now we get the hell out of there quickly. But if we're feeling extra cheeky, we can build a turret. If our opponent is kind of going like a tech build and they don't actually have an army right now, I just know that this tower guy might have some fire warriors or recruits around. But otherwise, if they didn't have an army, we can just build up a turret here. And then this will be really funny. Really annoying. We can send at least one builder back, because we don't need like 3 builders. But yeah, in the meantime, we can just make more units and just make this even harder for our opponent to stop. And look, their ability has recharged already. It recharges quite quickly. So this was the cheeky Servitor build. Use it if you just want to kind of meme your opponent, but I wouldn't suggest it usually otherwise. I don't know. I don't think it's really a meta strategy, but it is hilarious. So up to you guys. Anyway, that's it for the tier 1 builds. So you should be pretty good for tier 1 now. I will now move on to tier 2 builds. Okay, so you made it to tier 2. Perfect, great, you're still alive. That's excellent, we love that. So, once you hit tier 2, there are some things you definitely absolutely must do, right? So if you don't already have it, you need Inferno pistols by this stage. And also, what another thing you need is the Blessed Armor research. So definitely research that. It'll give your sister units, which ones? Pretty much all of them. Give them some extra armor. And if you have like a Battle Sister squad, add the Veteran Superior. The Veteran Superior is like, well, it's a leader unit for the squad, and she'll also add an Inferno pistol to the squad. So now we'll have 2 Inferno pistols. That's really good for us. Cool. Alright, now one build you can do is the Celestians. This is pretty standard actually. I make 2 Celestians to start off with. And Celestians are extremely good at infantry, beating infantry, and also they can be upgraded to take out vehicles, right? So they're a lot tankier than normal Battle Sisters as well. And they're just all around just a good versatile unit to have. We got some pressure going on here. You can upgrade the heavy bolters as well. Add them to your Battle Sisters if you want. So yeah, generally if you're not sure what to do, just making Celestians is usually a good idea. You know, add the Veteran Superior to the squads, so that's another Inferno pistol. And these Inferno pistols just burn down the enemy really fast. It's great. Especially against Tau. Tau aren't very, don't have much health. So we can make a 3rd one if we want. You can even make 4, but at that point that's a little bit of spamming. Just because Celestians have insane damage. And 4 squads is pretty hard to stop. But if you're playing against, like, say, Chaos, and they make Defiler spam, then you absolutely, definitely want to make 4 squads. The reason for this is you've got to account for the fact that maybe 1 or 2 of those squads will, unfortunately, just get deleted by the artillery from the Defilers, right? But obviously to counter that, you can just make Rhinos to transport your Celestians in. But I don't make more than 3 squads in tier 2, otherwise the players start complaining. So yeah, cool. That is the Celestians build. I'm just going to segue straight into the next point. Option 2 of tier 2 is you can make the Confessor. The Confessor is a very good commander unit. His abilities can turn the tide of any battle, really. But before you make him, make sure that you have 2 holy icons and get your faith up to 40. So every holy icon you add adds a bar to this bar here, and each bar is like 20 faith. We can even add just 1 more holy icon. Having 3 at tier 2 is what you want anyway. Cool, and once the Holy Reliquary is done, we make the Confessor. Yes, sorry, you need to build the Holy Reliquary over here to get the Confessor out. And the Confessor, his passive ability is that any units around him will get a attack bonus. And if you just go to the Holy Reliquary here, Act of Faith, Holy Edict, we want to research that. And what that does is it adds an extra ability to the Confessor where he can stun an enemy squad for 15 seconds, which is quite a long time when you think about it, to be for a squad to be stunned, which is what makes it such a useful ability. Ooh, broadside. But yeah, the Canoness has Confessor has the Emperor's Wrath ability by default, which costs 35 faith, but it is a very powerful ability. It can delete, you know, most weak infantry squads with just one hit. And yeah, it's very handy against Fire Warrior masses as well. And the Confessor can detect infiltrate units, which is just another layer of awesome. See, just like that, we just knock out one Fire Warrior squad. But you have to kind of aim it perfectly, because there is a bit of a delay when he's casting it. I'll quickly show you the stun as well, actually. And this is why we have 3 Holy Icons, so we can use both abilities, one after the other. Okay, on these Vespers, for example, just like that, and now they're stunned. And they'll stay like that for 15 seconds. Which is quite a long time, right? As I said. Like, look at that. Most stuns only last, like, you know, 5-10 seconds. But that one lasts much longer. Cool. Okay. On to the next topic. Okay, guys. So let's assume our opponent has focused less on vehicles and more on infantry, like, for example, Fire Warrior mass, or Guardsman mass with grenades, Cultist mass with grenades, even to catch out some Dark Reapers as a possibility. Just any situation where you don't really need your Celestians just yet, you can go for the Rhino Sting build. And before you hit tier 2, if you're going this way, just try to make your second Battle Sister squad, but just overwatch the Veteran Superior and the Heavy Bolters to it. We'll just make another generator here, and we will build the Manufactorum. Cool. Overwatch, Leader, and Heavy Bolters, and we're going to attach our Canoness to one of these squads. So the idea here is we want to use our Canoness's Purifying Light to blind any squads that usually have the superior ranged firepower compared to us. And we definitely want our Blessed Armor as well. And our grenades too. We need all of these for this to work properly. So it is pretty, yeah, there is a lot to invest in. But you can gain a lot of value going this way. So let's say, for example, I've got this annoying force from Tau attacking over on this side. Get our Rhino out. Just add a few more units to the squad. Make them a bit more durable. Oh, make the second Holy Icon as well. That's another thing. That way we can use our Purifying Light. So it basically works the same way as with other races. Just hop inside the Rhino. Flank our enemy. Watch out for snare traps though. I'll just check for snare traps. We don't want to get snared. Nothing there. Anything? Nothing there. Cool. Okay. Let's just get in close here. Get in close. Unload. Heavy bolters. Move away. Get closer to these Fire Warriors. We want to get the Fire Warriors down. And grenade them. Grenade everything. And just kill. Annihilate. Destroy everything. Boom. Everything is dead. Just like that. And we don't stop, we just keep on going. And if this opening is proving us effective, and we don't need to go the Celestians, don't go the Celestians, just go straight to tier 3, honestly. If you don't need the Celestians, won't make them. But if you see vehicles, make the Celestians ASAP, and give them the melters. But yeah, now we can just go in and gain some value. Another thing you can do is research the heavy weapon increase. That'll allow us to add even more heavy bolters to the squads, which is good. Do more damage. And we can just take down our opponent's LPs if we want. Oh, I'm being decapped there, but that's fine. Take down the LPs, heal up our squad maybe. Ooh. Broadside. Okay, we better run away from that. He'll destroy our transport quickly. Why am I stuck? Ah, pathing. Cool. Well, alright, so bit of a fail there, but you get the idea. Hopefully you guys get the idea with this build, right? Just drive around in the Rhino, wreak havoc. Easy claps. Cool. Let's move on to the next build. Okay guys, so for option 4 in tier 2, I'm going to talk about is the Lightning Fighters build. Now, Lightning Fighters are aircraft and they move very fast. They're good against infantry and also other aircraft. So this build I'd say is kind of like the Seraphim's build, but for tier 2. It's pretty nasty. And I'll get into it now, show you how it's done, get my power back up. Cool, so we'll build the Manufactorum here. Now you want to use this build if you just want to delete, you know, your opponent's infantry. It's good against any squads that have grenade launchers, because I don't think grenades can hit aircraft. But even just the guardsmen themselves, because they're already low HP, this build will yeah, it can delete them pretty quickly. So here we go. Lightning Fighter, make 1. We'll only be able to make 2 at first, because we do need to research the mechanized production efficiency. This is probably the only situation where actually making two Manufactorums might benefit. But yeah, we'll just get our power generators going. If you have enough Lightning Fighters, they also do good damage against heavy infantry as well. So it's like the perfect yeah, Seraphims but in the sky basically. You just chase down squads and it's insane, it's crazy. You'll see what I mean. Especially against Fire Warrior masses as well, because Fire Warriors themselves don't do that much damage to our vehicles. Because the Lightning Fighter is a vehicle, it's got a vehicle armor. So the only way to really stop them is with anti-vehicle weaponry. But you can also go into your opponent's base and just target their builders as well. Okay, has he got the fusion? No, he doesn't have fusion. Okay, let's chase these Fire Warriors, for example, and just look at how quickly their health goes down. Just like this. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, he's got the fusion blasters, so now that's a bit of a problem. Even against commanders, it does pretty good damage as well. So I can just chase down the Tower Commander with my 3 Lightning Fighters, and boom, look at that, already down. This build is definitely good on long maps, I would say, as all aircraft are, really. I could just go in, target the builders. That builder's down. That builder is down. Now, I'm not really sure how much damage it does on the generator, so let's just check that real quick. Yeah, as I thought, not a lot. But it's good. It's good as a way of saying, like, hey, deal with this opponent, I suppose. yeah, so against this heavy infantry, just 3 isn't really going to do much. But yeah, I just showed you like what it can do, so make up your mind on when to use it, and just, yeah, find out for yourself which situations are appropriate. Cool. On to the next point. Okay guys, so this isn't really much of a build. I just wanted to talk about the Death Cult Assassin. Definitely a unit you should consider in some games, like especially against Necrons. I don't know how many times the Death Cult Assassin has helped me out. It's crazy. Basically, if the Necron Lord is in your base attacking your generators, you can just make the Death Cult Assassin and, well, assassinate him. That's what she does. That's her job. When a unit's health is 40% or lower in the yellow area, she can do there's a chance she can do an instant execute, which is phenomenal. Like, I love that. So yeah, if you need to like take out strong singular enemy units, like even Tau or broadside battlesuits, or the XV8 battlesuits, yeah, she's a good counter to those kind of yeah, tanky, even commanders, especially commanders. Yeah. She's infiltrated. She can detect infiltrated units. Yeah, just an all-around good assassin unit. I would say if you don't need her though, then don't make her. You can just use the resources for something else. But other than that, yeah, she's a pretty viable option. I wouldn't put her up against like a infantry mess though, because if once she gets detected, she's useless. So I would just save her for those hard to kill commanders or heavy infantries that only consist of like, yeah, 1 unit or even just a few units. But she's a good like scout as well, because she's infiltrated. You can just get her out and scout your enemy's base. If your opponent is Space Marines and they have infiltrated scouts, you can just use her as a detector unit that's also infiltrated, so that your opponent has no idea why his units are being detected yet. Yeah, they haven't quite detected her, so they can't see her. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Death Cult Assassin anyway. Pretty situational as usual, but a good unit, I'd say. Definitely helped me out in a number of games. Okay, now on to the final discussion. Okay guys, so the final thing I wanted to talk about for tier 2 is the Immolator. And for the Immolator, just no. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please leave a like. It really helps with the algorithm. And cool, that's actually 8 build orders done, and I've only just got 1 more to go, and that's for Dark Elder. So I'm really happy with how far we've come with these videos. I'm really happy with the feedback I've received, and the amount of attention these videos have gained from players old and new. It's been great. So I'm going to be sad when that last video comes out, but be sure to look out for it. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Cheers.